And hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today, uh, today we are, starting the Stormblood MSQ. Thereabout. So, first things first, let's, because it's tradition, let's talk to everyone. Remember, every time we have a character with their name over their head, they have text. Back in the Far East, we treat back pain with a long soak in a hot spring. Oh, that sounds good right now. What say you to a short journey, Isildur? I am told the waters at Camp Bronze Lake are famous for their healing properties. At last I was able to arise from my sickbed, but the pain when I tried to take up my axe, what a sad old man I've become. Okay. Things are heating up in Alamigo, but we can't afford to lose track to the trouble what might be brewing in the rest of the realm. Don't you worry though, I'll be keeping an ear to the ground. Me nose in the air and one eye on the horizon. The signs will be spread thin in the coming days, so Real and I are discussing assignments. I may have to reorganize my filing system. Well, considering that, as I understand it, your filing system is pretty much whatever is here, I'd say yeah, that sounds smart. Lady Flamine, I sent her outside to enjoy a quiet cup of tea. Much has happened these past moons, and we can all use a rest every now and again. Though it might be simpler to surrender to despair, I have chosen to resume my studies in the arcane. I received much wisdom from Papalymo, and I would put his advice into practice. My sister has the most curious ideas about courtship. Oh, this is a courtship. A fine showing, brother, but you have yet to outpace Enor. I made a fool of myself on our last mission, but I will show him what I'm made of. And come now, Hori. Is that the best you've got? Should the Archons be called away to Girabanya, it will fall to us to deal with the Scion's usual obligations, and thus we must remain in peak condition. Okay, so Enor is trying to flirt with Hori by exercising. Yeah, the budding romance between these four. And Colton just sitting there watching on. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk to Alize. If all proceeds as planned, we should soon be receiving word that Alliance forces have secured Balzar's Wall. Until then, however, we can but ensure we are ready to move the moment we hear the news. And as is tradition, I will be on my Black Mage. I had thought about either doing Dark Knight or Monk, but I started on Black Mage, might as well continue. Although I am level 61. And the thing is, my Monk is almost 61 anyway, so I'm probably going to outlevel stuff. And there's my Dark Knight, which is... Do I want to look like this going forward? Yeah, do Black Mage. Why not? Because why not? Yeah. Beyond the Wall, Alphino is a man with a great deal on his mind. Cutscene.
The question is, How will the Empire respond to the disappearance of Omega and the Primal?
Let it ride.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Forgive me. Word from Baelsar's wall is proving long in the coming, and my mind cannot help but stray to grim places.
Alphino, a message from the Alliance.
It's about time. Pray summon the others at once.
Yes, sir.
General Uldin reports that his forces have secured the breach in Baelsar's wall.
Good.
And what of the Primal and Omega?
There is still no sign of either at this time. He writes that they will begin a more thorough investigation shortly. And, as expected, he wishes to petition the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
As expected.
The Alliance's decision to capture a part of Baelsar's wall is open to interpretation.
The wall serves to demarcate Imperial territory, Alamigo included, from the rest of Eorzea. To an observer, the Alliance's actions could be seen as a prelude to invasion.
Indeed. And the Alliance leaders have no wish to be branded invaders.
You're saying they won't fight for Alamigo? Even after everything that's happened?
Not without the consent of her people, no. Make no mistake, Lise. The Alliance is in complete agreement that the Empire must be purged from Eorzea. However, they will not set foot in Gyr Abania until they have formally secured the consent and cooperation of the Alamigan opposition.
They would have us act as intermediaries.
Precisely. The Scions are uniquely qualified to serve in this capacity. That is to say, Lise's, given her personal connection to the Resistance. Who better than you to broker an agreement between the Alliance and the people of Alamigo? Assuming you are willing, of course.
Of course I am. You know I'd like nothing more.
As for who should accompany you on said diplomatic mission, I had a mind to volunteer myself.
Well, that covers the talking part. But you just know there'll be trouble along the way. Are you available?
Of course. As if you have to ask.
Thanks. It means a lot knowing you'll be there.
I too shall accompany you. Such endeavors are seldom hampered by a surfeit of healers.
Good point. Allow me to offer my services as well. I have spent quite enough time here of late, so I'll be coming. But we will need someone to keep an eye on things. I trust you have no objections?
None, my lady. Gladly shall I continue to serve as caretaker of the Waking Sands, and there keep watch for signs of primal and Ascian activity both.
As capable as my learned friend undoubtedly is, there are some troubles that may prove too much for a single scion, on account of which I mean to stay.
It is settled then. Let us each see to our preparations.
Everybody's moot. Oh, Gosetsu and Yugiri are here. Even Tataru has her limits, and so I have taken it upon myself to assist her in managing communications with various organizations and our members in the field real, and the others are counting on us for support after all. You are ready, Shadow Walker? There can be no turning back once we depart. Almost, but there is one thing that remains undone. What are they up to, I wonder? Minfilia would have given anything for a chance to liberate her homeland. Were she still with us, I know she'd be the one leading the way. There's no going back once we cross this bridge, and the gods only know what awaits us on the other side. In our absence, Oriange and Thancred will handle administrative affairs. We were there for the conversation. Continue to coordinate your operations with Aline and the others, and report to them directly should you receive word of primal activity. Aye, aye, Captain. You can count on us. Sister, please, you never know who might be listening, and more importantly, we have our own mission to attend to, and if you're too busy thinking such thoughts, you're liable to get us both killed. What is she thinking? I'm almost afraid to ask. Even as bit players, they show us passion, show such passion, such fervor. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be a bit player too, or better yet, play with their— Oh my goodness, Enor. No, oh, did not need that image. Spirits call today, spirits. Even if we are not more than bit players in their tale, we must do our utmost to support the senior scions, and Myrokos most of all. Well said, Hori. Every man to his purpose, and we must not doubt ours. Papalima's absence will be keenly felt for some time. Would that we had the strength to aid others in his stead. Okay. Oh, Isola's just perked up. What's going on over here? What will become of our homeland? I know not what to think of this endeavor. Were I 10 years younger, nay 5, I would not hesitate to join Lady Yugiri and Lord Gosetsu in their fight for freedom. That's nice. Okay. Peace. So it's finally happening. Don't tell anyone, but I'm feeling a bit nervous. Only a bit, mind you. I'll be fine once we get going. Hopefully. You remember Minago? Don't you? The messenger who brought word of the Griffin's attack on Balzar's Wall? Well, she left not long ago, having made a full recovery. If you see her in Girabanya, be sure to send my love. Okay? More cutscenes.
Ready, my friend?
As ever.
Well then. Tataru, I leave the rising stones in your capable hands.
Don't worry, Alphino. I'll see that the place is still standing when you come back.
Mistress Y'shtola has unfolded all. You are bound for Girabanya?
Aye. The Alliance would have us make contact with the Alamegan resistance as soon as possible.
It begins then. As soon it shall in Doma, if the gods are good. 'Tis but a pity it must be now. I am sorry that we shall not be present to fight beside you in the battles to come.
You have stood with us countless times, Lady Yugiri. Pray do not apologize.
Then let us thank you instead. You and yours stood with us from the first, when we came to this land as refugees in search of sanctuary. Loath am I to think what might have become of my people, had you not extended to us the hand of friendship. We will never forget. This I solemnly swear.
Much has changed since first you set foot on these shores. Revenant's Toll stands as a testament to that. I'm sure your people will manage in your absence.
Indeed. They have built a new home for themselves and no longer need me to shepherd them. The time has come for Kozetsu and I to return to our master, to our home.
I know how you feel. It's time I went home too.
Though our battlefields be 1,000 mounds apart, our purpose is one. That all men hearken to the clarion call of freedom, of liberation, from Eorzea to the far east, that they may rise up and cast down the curse of Garlemald.
Take care, you hear me? When all of this is over, we're going to celebrate, together. Just you wait.
I should like that very much. Fare you well.
A 1,000 malms apart, yet united in purpose. Let us pray both our endeavors meet with success. Shall we then? Wait, not just yet. I knew I'd forgotten something important. Lise, could you come with me? Me? What now? Alright then, if you insist. Whatever could this be? Oh wait, she's getting a garb change? Okay, she's... That's better, much better. What do you think? As you can see, I designed it to be light and loose, an outfit tailor-made to the needs of a skilled fighter like Lise. Your work never ceases to impress. Much more of this, and I may have to stop introducing you as the Scion's receptionist and start referring to you as our preeminent seamstress. It's lovely, Tataru. Thank you. I feel like I could take on a legion. Don't jinx it, Lise. I'm glad you like it. And with that, I'll delay you no longer. Safe travels. Then onward to Girabanya. Our first stop will be Amarisai's Spire in the East Shroud. Of course it's gone to nighttime already. Oh well, it'll be a nighttime thing. Spire. It is in East Shroud. Hawthorne Hut. Let's go. Of course it's raining here. Oh well. I had hoped for better weather, but, oh well. Oop. Talk to everyone. I won't let you down, Papa Limo. I promise. Papa Limo and I had to know it would only be temporary. If Grandfather couldn't contain Bahamut with the power of a thousand prayers, then what chance did his disciple stand, armed only with a broken staff? Was it always his plan to sacrifice his life to complete the ritual, to bring forth the arbiter of his vengeance, but not remain to see the aftermath? Though it may not be apparent to the naked eye, the ether here is in turmoil. Not since the calamity has this land been subjected to forces of the magnitude unleashed by Shinryu and Omega. Well, that's kind of not good. All are present and accounted for. When you are ready, my friend, pray inform the officer that we wish to proceed to Girabanya. Might as well get this over with. Ah, the signs of the 7th dawn. We were told to expect you. Shall I summon someone to escort you to the wall? Yes. Let's just hope the weather across the wall is better. Okay, there's the map. Please have good weather, please have good weather.
I remember crossing the border, standing in Girabania once more. Me and my fellow scions, the warrior of light among us. Behind us, Baelsar's wall cutting the land in two. Freedom on one side, tyranny on the other. Tyranny and the promise of a new beginning. But one that could only be bought with flames and blood.
Welcome to Stormblood, boys and girls. Let's go. Tune to the Aetheryte. And why not get the Chocobo Keep? Not that I ever use them, but it's good to have a backup just in case something happens. Quite an atmosphere here, isn't it? Isn't there? Everyone seems to be on pins and needles, though one can hardly blame them given recent events. The Alliance has done well to repurpose these Imperial facilities for their own use so quickly. The General's in high spirits, don't you think? I know the feeling. To see the colors of so many nations, Lemsa Lamensa, Gridania, Ul'dah, and now Ishgard, well nigh brings a tear to my eye. We have much to be proud of, Myrokos. That we do. So this is the East End. Not too different from the rest of the Shroud, is it? Though, truth be told, I'm not sure why I thought it would be. Thought it wouldn't be. Okay, thought it would be. Okay, let's... Greetings, Scions. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, I welcome you to Castrum Orient. Thank you, General. We were relieved to hear that your forces secured the wall without incident. Have the Imperials made any attempt to retake the Castrum since then? None, save for a few skirmishes between our scouts and their patrols. We've had barely any contact with them. But all we know is, we all know it's only a matter of time before things escalate. Sorry about that. As if attacking Balzar's wall weren't enough, Ilbred summoned a primal right on their doorstep, and Garlemald does not like to let such shows of defiance go unanswered. 'Twas a declaration of war, even if it was not Ilbred's to make, and now we are bound to it, for real or for woe. The Scions stand ready to serve, General. What would you ask of us? As stated in my message, the Alliance will not proceed without the support and cooperation of the Alamegan people. We would have you serve as our emissaries and make contact with the Resistance. Consider it done, General. We won't let you down, I swear. Then I'll leave you to it. Godspeed. Ha! Of all the Castra in all the world, you walk into mine. Master Garland, what brings you here? I said... a certain missing Allagan weapon and a draconic primal, Omega and Shinryu, I think the Shinobi called it. Anyway, we've been studying their trail of destruction, hoping it might lead us somewhere, which it has singularly failed to do. Then 'tis like Omega fell to Earth in occupied territory, meaning it may already be in Imperial hands. Even so, it bears repeating that we engaged the stasis systems, assuming the command was received and executed successfully. The weapon will be of no use to them, assuming we should hurry up and find it regardless. All the more reason to reach out to the Resistance. If we want to press on into Girabanya, we'll need their blessing. Everyone's counting on us. Let us not waste any more time talking. I do hope you're not thinking about running off to help Master Garland. It is not your duty to solve all of the world's problems, you know. Were Omega not a threat to us all, its effectiveness in subduing draconic foes would seem almost admirable. But such weapons are doomed to be misused. Let us pray we never have to that we never have need of its services again. The bridge over the Velodina River has always held great strategic importance, hence the Garlean's decision to transform it into a fortified installation. Needless to say, we will not be crossing there. If anyone can determine the fate of Shinryu and Omega, it's Master Garland. For now, let us remain focused on our current mission. Keep to the north and cross upstream. The Black Bridge belongs to the Garleans. For now. Lys takes the lead. Lys is eager to leave Castromorians. As you have probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Ralgar's Reach, an old temple to the east of here across the Velodina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we will be there before you know it. I'd rather not deal with a fate right off the bat. They call it East End because it marks the end of the Black Shroud. Note the sparser vegetation. Oh, so that's why this is the East End. At the risk of upsetting the cartographic fraternity, I can't help observing that East End depends entirely on one's perspective. I mean, people don't even think of it as Gridania anymore, do they? It's so quiet, almost as though the Imperials haven't been here for some time. On your guard, the Imperials know these lands better than we. Still with me? Good. From here, we'll head northeast towards the river. The water's not too deep, so we won't have to swim. Okay. Ishtola's right. We need to cross before the Imperials spot us. We should not linger out here in the open. See, brother, nothing to worry about. Though no one would blame you for donning your buoyancy aids, just in case. What, he can't swim? At a glance, it certainly seems shallow enough. Okay, so I guess he can't swim. Okay. I don't see any soldiers. Good. Let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south. It's part of Castellum Velodina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely miles away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. Oh, please, this is like barely ankle deep. Alphino, you were worrying yourself over nothing. I'm just trying to stick to the road. Oh, okay, ether current. Yay. Oh. I'm gonna have to come back for that current once I shake up. There we go. Well, this is awkward. If you like what you see at any point, make certain you like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, hit the notification bells, yada yada. Are we there yet? There's always someone like that. So, the reach lies beyond, but I do not see a path. And we didn't run afoul of even a single patrol. What a pleasant surprise, in that there were no surprises. Least did well. It is reassuring. We're here. On the other side of this pass is Ralgor's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there is some sort of trick to this? Indeed, a glamour. Good eye, Ishtola. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or mayhap an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms? Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garlands. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us, and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy. So, let me lead the way, and, don't go reaching for your weapons or anything. And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare. I suppose you could disguise almost anything with a glamour prism, if you really wanted to. Have you ever used one? Why am I asking? Of course you haven't. Hey! Alize? I am glam. Rude. Seeing it now, I feel rather foolish for not having deduced it earlier. Let us pray that they are amenable to our proposal. United we stand to accomplish so much more. Impressive or no, 20 years is a long time for even so complex a glamour, Impressive or no, 20 years is a long time for even so complex a glamour to escape the Empire's notice. All clear? Let's go. Alright. Let's see. I want to stay on Dark Knight. Alize's complaining about my not using a glam, even though I have a glam.
I remember the old stories. How the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralga's Reach, a holy place, and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo.
I can't
They
wait
were
to see
waiting for us there. Men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost. For what could be ours again.
I can't wait to see this place during daytime. During sunup. It's hard to feel at ease with that giant statue looking down on you. This temple was once home to the Fist of Ralgar, as I recall. Yes, there is no mistaking that statue. Ordinarily, I'd shudder at the thought of armed rebels trampling about in an ancient temple of immense historical importance, but Ralgar is the Breaker of Worlds, so it seems rather appropriate, if anything. Fascinating. A massive, nigh imperceptible glamour encompassing the entire valley. I see now how the settlement was able to escape the watchful eyes of Imperial airships. It's good to see you, Nago, up and moving again. I wasn't there when it's good to see Nago up and moving again. I wasn't there when she headed home, so I naturally assumed she'd left too soon, always overdoing it, that one. A pleasure to see you again, and Kryl and Ishtola, without whose help I might not be standing here today, at least not so soon. Oh, so you really came. I never thought I'd see you here, but I am glad. I'm glad. Wait, I seem to recall this name. Wasn't he in ARR? You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. The promise of a new beginning. Conrad knows the purpose of your visit and would like to give you a proper welcome. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. Scrub exchange. Rowena's good at getting places. You have attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards in Walger's Reach. The French Gates is now accessible as an Ethernet distance. Okay, so that's taken care of. When we first met back in the Shroud, I took you for just another traveler. By Ralgar, I still can't believe how far you've come. Yeah, I thought I recognized him. We plan operations here when we're not entertaining important guests like yourself.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralgar's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, I mean, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monargo told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Ralgar it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
To be honest, I already know I want us to work together, but we've still got to talk it over with everyone. We'll need to call the other senior members together before we can make a decision. So the Gridanians are finally willing to fight, eh? It's not as though we have to stand around here indefinitely, do we? Papalymo and I weren't entirely honest with you. Though we were sheltered in Little Alamigo at first, we spent most of our time here working with Conrad and his people, But you probably guessed that the moment I led you to Raga's Reach, didn't you? Yeah, it's a little too convenient that she knew how to get here. So they would have us wait. Very well. I can't imagine that they would refuse, but if they did... Okay, a haven for the bold. Alphino is pondering how best to make use of your leisure. So, it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Ah, forgive me, you are free to look around Raga's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I can show you around if you like. Great, let's get started. Ah, daylight. I'll bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hellsguard from all the way over by the spine here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There's even been some Beastmen, well, beast women, I suppose, like that one over there. She is an Ananta. While one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystals into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's take a closer look at the statue of Ralgar, shall we? Starting to get... Oh, just went overcast. Well, it was nice to have it clear while it lasted. Thunderstorms. Kind of fitting given Ralgar's association with lightning and a comet, of course. Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The breaker of worlds who guided our ancestor to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th Astral Era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign. And lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky, and led the way to these mountains of Girabanya. They who were saved by his grace pledged to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast, hell's open, heavens weep, for no one's soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on the stone by a monk of the Fist of Ralgar. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow, that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm blood, is finally upon us, but if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. Sorry, that was a bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let us keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. Perhaps I should be in my mode after all. Considering, LOL. To Black Mage. This is the infirmary. As you can probably tell, here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next. Talk to Ishtola and Kryl first. You two are come to inspect their facilities. As you can see, they have done well to set aside this much space, but their supplies are insufficient. We examined the patients and offered what assistance we could. However, for many of their injuries, time and bed rest are the only effective treatments. Okay, so we need to get more medical supplies in here. Good to know. Don't mind me just using a stolen Magitech. We have stairs of some sort that lead to nowhere. That's kind of curious. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Well, not quite. This one here, and this one's an older design dating back decades to when the Fist of Ralgar was still here. It may look a little different, but it works as well as any other. I'll show you where these settlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. I've already attuned. Yeah, I've already attuned. Ah, excellent. They've no shortage of settlers here. I think I said settlers. No, settlers here. Should we have need of their services? Hardly surprising. Where there is war, there is profit to be had. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, these folks have got it. The resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything or need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alphino and Alize are here. Why don't we see how they're getting on? Perhaps I should be monk for this bit. Especially since I'm level 60, yes. Definitely want to do that. If you need to buy anything, now might be a good time. Hardly surprising. Why do I get the feeling that this is something prophetic? Then again, I do have food. I mean, I don't use glamour prisms. I do. And if I were to be on my samurai, same gear as before, it is glammed. But okay, a bargain struck. Alize is nodding approvingly at the settlers. Let me just switch over. Yeah, I'll just stick to Black Mage. It's what I'm most comfortable with. The bargain struck. Alize is nodding approvingly at the settlers. Okay. Come to take a measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. 'Tis a gamble, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We've finished discussing your proposal, and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch Estola and Kryl, so if you'd like to follow me. Okay. Sorry to have kept you waiting, but matters such as these demand due deliberation. We'll begin once the others arrive.
Thank you all for waiting. We have reached a consensus.
I don't like that town. It's not encouraging.
I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rolga's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree. But it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you lot. Monago and Mefred will tell you more.
Understood. We won't let you down.
What a relief. For a moment there, I really wasn't sure which way it was going. As if there was ever any doubt. Pinch me if I'm dreaming, because I'd swear it's finally happening. The whole of Eorzea committed at last to the liberation of Alamigo. Now that we have dealt with the formalities, we can get to work. I'm glad you're with us, friend. Right then, Monago and Mefred are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice. Myrokos. Kind of like the look of that hat. For the glam. Your ether compass may now be used to locate ether currents in new regions. The ether compass can be found. Okay. Familiar face of face forgotten. A friend of a friend in need. Ooh, where to go? Which one to go? Monaco and Lise would like to go together, but I kind of want to It's been a while since I saw Mefford. I kind of want to hang out with him. Mefford, okay, a familiar face forgotten. Mefford cannot help but wonder if you remember who he is. At the risk of repeating myself, it is still hard for me to believe that we'd meet again here of all places, though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? Of course I remember you. Yeah, he was the one who, I forget the friend, but there was the friend who was poisoned, yeah. I'm impressed, given everything you went on to accomplish. You'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarry Mill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Oh yeah, it was Galleon who was who was in need of the antidote. Gundabald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Garabanya and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Ah, that's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you, Elise? By all means, we'd welcome the company. Oh, so we're going to her hometown. Interesting. There will be more than just asking around. But we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnels to the peaks. After you. Okay. It's kind of fitting then that I'm doing this and it's starting out with thunder, etc. Eden and I were born in Alagana, though I can't say I remember much about it. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade if you would. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There are more villages there than out here, but also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully. Ida and I were born in Alagana, though I can't say I remember much about it. The way's clear after you, Myrokos. Do be careful out there, sir. Wouldn't do to lose a soldier like you so early in the fight. Okay. Ooh, nice and sunny.
I remember the peaks of Girabania, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity. Who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
And it's nearly my dinner time too. So, with that, I think I'll leave it here. Probably should have left it before that cutscene, but oh well. If you liked what you saw at any point, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the, give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bells, and I will see you anon, friends.